So, I've been having thoughts recently about the future direction of the games that I'm making, uh, particularly the one I've spent the most time on, Titans Battalion. Because it will eventually, because of the way I am doing things, be exposed to higher level pro players in the various games that are components of it. And what that means is I'm going to, after having spent, at this point, a third of my life working on a single game, have people who have a lot of experience in a directly adjacent area and therefore are given a certain level of respect, worthily so, for their expertise in that area, analyzing things. And the truth is, I don't have their experience. I am not a super GM. I'm just a man who is so obsessed with making certain things that I must complete it. Hell, I spend more time working out than playing chess. But I think it will, I don't think I can trust their initial reaction to the games. But if they really sit down and go, hey, there's something here, and look at it and struggle over the problems for a month or two, then all of the missing experience in the direct field of all the adjacent games and game design itself, chess variant design and balance, is like a very specific, number crunchy, nitty gritty subfield of game design where we have to discover all of the rock paper scissors that happen rather than designing it into the system. Like, for example, a jumping bishop to 2 and a jumping rook to 2 happen to be heavily countered by pawn lines. You don't know that starting out. You don't know that a pawn line is really good at making those two pieces not as strong as a knight or bishop. Nor do you realize then that there are pawn lines which do the same things to knights, and bishops are basically the only ones unaffected. Furthermore, you can have pawn lines that make bishops even stronger out of the open, being a normal pawn line being one of the best because of the fianchetto. And positioning them in the corner immediately gives wooden shield. And then all of a sudden, in a context that isn't specifically chess, a bishop is a better piece than a knight. Which I didn't even necessarily fully know until studying Chess Evolved Online and Spartan Chess. And that's a very specific thing. And there's hundreds of those little cases where we discover these types of interactions that I know as a game designer, that my community and my players will know better than me within, there's going to be players who know this better than me within a few years of the game being finalized, released, properly marketed, and put out, right? Assuming we do any of that right. Otherwise, the game will just exist until I die, someone will discover it and promote it better than me. Which is entirely possible, and I'm okay with that. But I need, first of all, despite the amount of time and effort I've put into this, to maintain the humility that other people's advice is worthwhile. So, for example, we had pro shogi players and very strong amateur shogi players come in and take a look at the game, and it was a thing very briefly, particularly the youth prodigy Lily Lionmane, right? She's good. She's good. She has a YouTube channel. Go check her out. But having that one really strong player around gave us more learning, more insights into an area I lacked, which was shogi drop game knowledge. And now I've studied it more and I have a better understanding of it. But I never could have gotten where I am with that army as quickly without her help. And the same goes for Shang-Chi. For Shang-Chi, I had to sit down, speak with, and work out things with a spattering of decent English-speaking Shang-Chi players, which are hard to find, by the way. Like, one of the only ones, he shows up like once every few months, and he lives in Singapore. And then there's another guy who happens to be as experienced as me in my own field, but he has a more Shang-Chi base because I believe either him or his family were in Vietnam before they started working more American. I might have that mixed up. But essentially, the only reason that I am where I am with my experience and with this progress with the game is because of the outside help of those people once we went public. Like, some of our directions were completely wrong. Even then, even after I had built my own sub-base of knowledge on just chess variant design in general, I wasn't properly able to appreciate information about the base games. And a lot of the things I've mentioned, I've discovered through my interaction with the Fairy Stockfish community and their own analyses of the various 3 or 4 of the various subgames of Titans Battalion, which is Spartan Chess, Empire Chess, Golden Horde, are all included. Orda Chess is the name of that game, not Golden Horde. So yeah, I'm not just going to write you off because you're not a game designer, especially if you're a good player. And feel free to throw this video in my face, because sometimes I need to be humbled. I'm as human as anyone else. Have a good day.